One out in the inning. A Ryotaro Munakata ground out back to the pitcher. Vinny Favada reached via the walk, then stole second, his second steal of the night. Michael Sabella at the plate. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Ball is squeezed at home plate by Carruthers, so that'll bring up Nick Past, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, with 2 outs.
Nick Past, there's a time to get a single. It's right now. Bottom of the 7th, you get Favada on via the walk and steals a base. Can't go out with a couple strikeouts here.
Past at the plate, batting from the right side against the lefty Iaquesa. Iaquesa out of the stretch, deals to Past, upstairs, misses. Never mind, called a strike. Looked like it was up in the zone, but gets the call as Iaquesa for strike one.
That was pitch number 100 here. Trying to potentially end the 7th with the lead.
Bovada off second. Iaquesa gives him a look, now deals inside to Past, 1-1. Past started this year on an absolute heater for the Americans. A really great swing out of the gate, but as of late, really been struggling. Hitless in his last 28 at-bats. Count 1-1, 2 outs in the inning. Deals, swing and a miss, strike two. Count is 1-2, Past behind. Past a second-year American, just one of 3 second-year Niagara Falls players. Derek Jesmondi, Vinny Favada. The others. Past flies that one down the first baseline. Drifting in foul ground is Denny Martin. He makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. Logan Stickler was the other player I was forgetting there, not Vinny Favada, who played for the Pioneers last year. But there's the 3rd out of the inning. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We played 7 complete innings. And the Olean Oilers are coming to bat in the top of the 8th, looking to hold on to their lead 2-1 here in a pitcher's duel. Americans and Oilers here at Sal Maglie Stadium.
Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Maglie Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com.
Back here at Sal Maglie Stadium as we enter the 8th inning. Armanis Romero will lead things off for the Olean Oilers. Batting from the right side, the 3rd baseman tonight. He's 1 for 2, a single and a strikeout. Romero wearing number 2, been with the Oilers all summer out of Roxbury, Massachusetts. Struggling, though, at the plate in July, just 2 for 9 at the dish. First pitch from Aiden Rose, bounced fouled on the 3rd baseline for strike 1. That one misses up and in for ball 1. Count 1-1 now. Rose against Romero. Rose out of the windup, deals. Skied out to right field. A long run for Sabella at first. He won't get there. Count now 1-2. So in this game, 2 runs have been scored by the Oilers, all on one play back in the 2nd inning. A Little League home run by Brian Carruthers on a play that Xander Clark, who had to come out of the game in right field, fell and really hurt his leg. Count now 1-2. Outside corner, Rose just misses. That'll even the count at 2. And the Americans have scored 1 run on a Dominic Zangardi single. Pitch. Called. Strike 3. Moroz gets Romero down on strikes for the first out of the inning.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a strikeout from Moroz. That brings up Fournier. Recently, Americans didn't tack on a run earlier with that double play on that hose from center field.
Yeah, Moroz's first K since the 4th. Just 3 tonight, not known for his strikeouts. Line right at Gladfelter, out number 2. Fournier hustling down the first baseline. A good hard 90, showing all the kids in the stands that no matter where that ball is hit, to put your head down and run, but he's out for out number 2. Good crowd of young ball players in the stands tonight. A couple of young baseball teams from nearby. Now 2 outs in the inning. Looks like Olean's going to use one of their conferences. Dana Williams talking with the Olean third base coach, kind of slowing down Moroz's rhythm. He's really in a groove right now. Putting up 6 scoreless innings, 5 complete, 5 2/3 scoreless, looking to make it 6. Dana Williams 0 for 2. He's at the plate, looking to prevent those scoreless innings from happening. Moroz, since the 2nd inning, has only allowed 3 hits by this Oilers team. They have 5 in the game. Pitch from Moroz, misses low. 1-0 to Dana Williams.
Both these teams have gotten the runners on. It's just when they're on doing something with it. These two teams combined 2 for 19 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 8 for the Oilers, 1 for 11 from the Americans.
That one called a strike with a fastball, evens up the count at 1-1.
Just got to move these runners over. Helps if you get them off, but just once they're on base, the bats go silent.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Moroz quickly ahead here against Dana Williams. The extra hitter tonight for the Oilers. Moroz out of the windup. Deals the 1-2, a fastball in the dirt, misses. That'll even the count at 2. 2 outs in the inning. Dana Williams has worked a walk in 3 of his last games, but has yet to record a hit here in the month of July. Moroz out of the windup. Deals a 2-2. Swinging him, foul tip. Now 2-2 remains.
It's pitch number 85 here for Moroz, looking to end it. Try not to get to the 90s if he gets to the 8th.
Count even at 2. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. Moroz deals. Fastball misses low. Now 3-2.
Second time, Tom, we've seen him have that quick 0-2 count and then struggle to find that payoff pitch. Rory doesn't want to walk another guy with 2 outs. That's really why his pitch count has sort of ballooned a little bit. Obviously still at 86, but could be maybe in the lower 70s compared to that.
Here's the 3-2 from Moroz. Fastball called. Strike 3. Moroz flips his glove at Dana Williams. Says go back to the dugout because that's strike 3. Aiden Moroz really in a groove. 6 scoreless now for the Americans. And they're coming to bat here in the bottom of the 8th. Down 2-1 against the Olean Oilers.
A little bit of chirp in there, Tom, between the batter and the pitcher. Moroz has certainly done his job. Going to need some help on the mound. Curious to see who they'll have.
A 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Moroz. 2 strikeouts as well. And the Americans are coming to bat here in the bottom of the 8th at Sal Maglie Stadium. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family-owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the one-half tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Maglie Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
So in a pitcher's duel, we're now in the bottom of the 8th. The Oilers over the Americans 2-1. Coach Mike Driehaus can hand the ball to his best reliever in Mark Holm from across the border in Ontario. Holm this year, 10 innings, a 1.8 ERA in 6 appearances. He's got a save, only allowed 6 runs, but 2 earned, 18 strikeouts to 10 walks. That accounts to a 16.2 K per 9 on the year, a 1.5 whip as well. He's faced 46 batters this summer.
Hasn't played since the 30th, came in, went 1 inning, gave up 2 hits, 5 runs, only 2 earned, and a loss to Jamestown. So calling in a guy they haven't seen in a while, one of their best relievers, trying to shut down this bottom of the Americans lineup.
So Cooper Rowell to lead things off for the red, white, and blue here against Mark Holm in the bottom of the 8th. Holm out of the stretch, delivers. Chop back up the middle, off the glove of Holm. Flips off his glove, and he won't have a play. Cooper Rowell, a leadoff base hit after a tough play from Mark Holm. Hard hit ball from Rowell would have been a really tough play for Holm as he knocked it down with his glove, but it took off his glove as well. So the Americans have a runner on here to lead off the bottom of the 8th. You have to think Glasscock is squaring around a bunt here.
Wouldn't hate it. Got on his last time up, but you know what you need to do here is get that runner into scoring position here. Not really that shaded in are the are the infielders here. I don't know if they're
Squaring
expecting
around
it.
is Glasscock, pops it up down the right field line, and Mark Holm catches it for the first out of the inning. So Glasscock unable to get the job done on the sacrifice bunt, and the bad luck continues for the Americans.
That's a humongous out. You got to square the bunt down. It went off the top of the bat. Easy play for Holm. He got a huge first out. Does bring up the top of the lineup, though, but you would have preferred to have him at second base.
So here's David Harris. An infield single his last time up at the plate. Cooper Rowell off first. Holm delivers. Harris fouls straight back. Now 0-1.
Rowell on the year does have a stolen base. But, you know, Harris can certainly drive him in as well.
Yeah, stealing off the lefty, probably not in play here for Rowell, with especially 1 out in the inning, and a guy like Harris at the plate can't take the bat away with a runner on base from the American center fielder. Holm out of the stretch, a lefty-lefty matchup, deals to Harris, hit down the left field line, foul. Harris behind in the count, now 0-2. Harris entered tonight for 62. 6 RBIs in 19 games for the Americans. 22 games, excuse me. Also 13 stolen bases for David Harris, named a midseason All-Star. Behind in the count 0-2. Cooper Rowell off first after an infield single. 1 out in the inning. Harris against Holm. There goes Rowell going on first move. Harris bounces that one towards second. Going to be a tough play for Bates. Fields across his body. Beats Harris to the bag at first for the second out of the inning. But Cooper Rowell moves up. And the Americans have a runner in scoring position for Justin Gladfelter, who's got 2 hits today.
Bates went over to cover the bag, really hit it right towards that gap, just able to cover enough ground and get the out. But runner does get into scoring position. It brings up Gladfelter, who already has 2 hits in this game.
Got to give Harris some credit. Took off out of the box, almost beat it, but a nice play from the Olean, New York native and Thomas Bates to throw out Harris. Now we got 2 outs in the inning.
1 for 4, but he's had 2 extremely close plays at first base. So it brings up Gladfelter as 2 for 3.
Pitch in there, called strike 1. What a story this would be. Gladfelter 4 errors yesterday. To come back and tie this one up with a base hit would be huge for the Americans and Gladfelter. Count is 0-1. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Gladfelter well behind a heater from home.
Trying to go Gladfelter, score him in, or try and reach and bring up Zangardi, who's also been huge. 4 of these 9 hits for the Americans coming from their 2 and 3 hitters.
Gladfelter at the plate, behind in the count 0-2. Home out of the stretch, deals. Upstairs, misses now 1-2.
Keep thinking back to that failed bunt by Glasscock. That was a huge out. Albeit probably would have had Rowell at third instead of second, which isn't that big of a difference, especially with 2 outs.
Rowell, pretty good speed off second. Can score on a base hit to the outfield. Count is 1-2. 2 outs now in the inning. Home checks on Rowell, delivers to Gladfelter. Skied out to right field, not deep. Rowley Tarley a couple steps back and makes the 3rd out of the inning. So home would work around a leadoff infield single by Cooper Rowell. And Aiden Rose headed back out for his 9th inning of work against the Olean Oilers, who are coming to bat. They lead the Americans 2-1 here at Sal Maglie Stadium in Niagara Falls, New York.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Maglie Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup.
Back here on the American Sports Network, we're in the top of the 9th. Aiden Rose back out there. Deals outside, misses 1-0 with a curveball. Things got a little chippy there in that last half inning, or last full inning. Rose on the mound against the Oilers started talking some trash to the Olean dugout. Now count is even 1-1 here in the top of the 9th. Rose deals the 1-1. Fastball misses low and away with the curveball. Excuse me, not fastball. Derek Stout leading things off here in the top of the 9th. The leadoff hitter today for the Oilers. He's 0 for 3. Rose out of the windup deals. Fastball way outside. Now 3-1. A really high-quality start from Hudson Ayaquesa, who's in line for the win right now for the Oilers. 3-1. Stout gives that one a ride, but Harris is underneath it in center. Now takes a couple steps in and makes the play for the first out of the inning.
You mentioned a great start from Ayaquesa, looking to have him get his 2nd win on the year. Another strong outing. Americans able to knock on a couple hits and that run. I feel like they really should have had a couple more, but he really mowed them down.
Some Rose has held this Olean offense scoreless.
One more time. I know it's a bummer, but it's a safety issue. We don't want anybody to get hurt. Please help and cooperate. Please don't stand against the fence.
for 6 innings, now 6 1/3. First pitch from Rose. Deals to the lefty McElligott, who pops that one to left field. Ganchow comes on, makes the play for the second out of the inning.
Pitch count at 91 from Rose. I feel like he's been control as he's checking out the 1, 2, and 3 hitters who are 0 for 4 and Tarley 0 for 3.
Gladfelter must have something, or was taught at a young age, to go all out for those balls in the outfield, because any pop-up in shallow outfield, he is full-on sprinting after. Even that one, not really close to the infield. Ganchow had it all day. Swing and a miss right there from Cooper Tarley, who's 0 for 3 today. He's behind in the count now 0-1. Moreau's on the rubber, ahead 0-1 against the Olean 3-hitter. Rose has certainly done his job tonight, only allowing 2 runs on 5 hits. Pitch, fastball outside, misses. Now 1-1. More looked like a curveball, not the fastball. Rose does a good job hiding that ball out of his hand. Count is 1-1, 2 outs in the inning. Olean ahead 2-1. Pitch, outside, called a strike. Got the corner with a fastball. Rose pointing at Tarley to get back in the box. He is fired up. Count is 2-2. Tarley from Weben, Massachusetts. Count 1-2. Pitch from Rose outside. That one misses. Tarley really taking his time, trying to screw with Rose's timing. Count 2-2, 2 outs in the inning. Rose out of the windup, deals to Tarley. Fastball low and away, now 3-2. So it looks like the timing has kind of worked here. Tarley takes his time, steps out of the box, undoes his batting gloves, checks on his grip on the bat. Tarley redshirted this past year at the College of William and Mary, a Division I school in Williamsburg, Virginia. Count is 3-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Pitch from Rose. Curveball swung and a miss, strike 3. Rose laughing as he comes off the mound. He's done his job. 7 straight scoreless innings for the Americans. And we'll see if the red, white, and blue have a rally as we head to the bottom of the 9th. The Americans 3 outs to work with against the Oilers' best reliever in Mark Holm.
Rose's line, 9 innings pitched, 5 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. He's just been lethal.
His line, that might not be it. We could always go to the 10th. In PGCBL baseball, you go to extra innings. You only play 1 extra inning. So if the Americans were to score 1 and go to the 10th, we'd only play the 10th, start with a runner at second for both clubs. And that would be it. So you could end in a tie. But Aiden Rose, just a heck of a job out there on the mound. 7 straight scoreless innings after allowing 2 runs on an inside-the-park home run in the second. Since then, only 4 hits by the Oilers. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings in the 8th and the 9th. Aiden Rose, well done.
Holmes' last save appearance on June 17th when at 1 2/3 struck out every batter, 5 strikeouts. Americans trying to bring this game to extra innings, bringing up Sangardi, Ganchow, and Munakata. Sangardi 2 for 3 this game.
So tough task for the Americans here against a really good arm in Mark Holm, who's going to be a senior in 2027 at St. Bonaventure in Olean. Holm, a southpaw, actually pitched against the Americans earlier this year. 2 innings in relief, allowed 1 run unearned on 2 hits with 3 strikeouts in that outing. But what's so great about Holm is the strikeouts. Like I mentioned earlier, as he came in 16.5 K per 9, which if you're not familiar with the K per 9 stat, that would be 16 strikeouts every 9 innings Holm were to pitch. So if he were to come on and throw an outing like Moreau's has tonight, he'd have 16 strikeouts according to that stat.
No
which I
strikeouts in that
don't think
last
we'd be able to
inning.
fathom.
No strikeouts in that last inning. America's trying a lot, and he has some here. So it brings up Dominic Zangardi.
That'll bring up Zangardi, like you mentioned, who's been great as of late at the plate. We're in the bottom of the ninth, 2-1. Olean ahead of Niagara Falls here at Sal Maglie Stadium on a Saturday night in July. Mark Holm out of the stretch, the southpaw against the lefty Zangardi. Pitch misses upstairs, 1-0. Zangardi, the tying run at the plate for the Americans as they trail by 1. Americans 9 hits to the Oilers 5. Holm out of the stretch, count is 1-0. Pitch to Zangardi, chop to the right side. Martin backs up, fields, going to be a close play. Zangardi dives, but he's out.
Zangardi went all out, the head first dive. Be beaten by a step by Martin, huge first out.
You see 10 straight losses. These guys care. They want to break that streak. Zangardi goes all out, dives, but can't get there. So here's Matt Ganschow at the plate, batting from the right side, 1 out in the inning. Ganschow going to be a sophomore at Niagara University in the fall. 1 out in the inning. Pitch from home, a fastball up and away, misses 1-0. Oilers lead 2-1. Looking to take a 3-0 advantage in the season series after 2 wins earlier in June. Here's the 1-0 to Ganschow. Upstairs, misses, now 2-0. I think if you're Ganschow here, you are full hack, out of your shoes kind of style, because you can put this ball over the wall. Good power from the right side. It's a possibility with 1 home run on the year as well for Ganschow. Count is 2-0, 1 out in the inning. Pitch upstairs, misses, now 3-0.
We saw him tie that goal game up on July 4th. It's a 1-1 ball game, trying to do it 2-2 here, but it's a 3-0 count. You can just try and take a walk here.
Yeah, in that bottom of the 8th against Batavia, Ganschow been a clutch hitter on the year. So the count is 3-0, pitch from home. Ganschow taken all the way, takes a fastball inside, called strike, now 3-1.
Holm on the year, 18 strikeouts, only 10 walks. It's a huge pitch here.
Holm out of the stretch, nobody on, 1 out in the inning. 3-1 is the count. He deals to Ganschow. Upstairs, ball 4, so a base runner is on. And that'll bring the winning run to the plate in Ryotaro Munakata, who entered into this game earlier for the injured Xander Clark. Munakata 0 for 2 since entering. 2 strikeouts. Ganschow off first. Pitch to Munakata is fouled back. 0-1. Americans trying to put an end to this losing streak here in July, looking for that first win of the month. And we're 11 days in. Pick off the first, a good one from home, but Ganschow back in time. Kind of that step off and throw kind of pickoff move for Holm. Not really a leg lift kind of guy. See if he has that in the bag as well. Count is 0-1. Holm on the bump out of the stretch against Munakata. There goes Ganschow for second inside. Pitch is dropped by Carruthers. And the Americans have a runner in scoring position in Matt Ganschow. Good speed at second.
Huge stolen base from Ganschow. Munakata's looking to put this ball in play.
Munakata base hit ties this game up. Ganschow now off second in scoring position. Holm out of the stretch. Count is 1-1. He deals. Munakata takes it upstairs. 2-1. Excuse me. It's Ganshaw's 5th steal of the year in 24 games. Count 2-1. Munakata ahead. A good hitter's count here for the Americans' right fielder. 1 out in the inning. We're in the bottom of the 9th. The final frame.
Holm shakes off a couple of pitches, sees what he wants.
Home out of the stretch. Deals to Munakata. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Really nice off-speed pitch at the bottom of the zone. Gets Munakata way out in front. Hot bat and Vincent Favada looming on deck for the red, white, and blue. He's reached twice today and has 2 stolen bases. Munakata at the plate, though, 0 for 3. Ganchow off second. Nobody holding him. Pitch to Munakata. Curveball in there. Called strike 3. A big one for Mark Holm. And the Americans are down to their final out in Vincent Favada.
First strikeout of the game from Holm. Couldn't have came at a bigger time. 2 huge strikes. Get out. Munakata, huge spot for Favada.
Bring up Vincent Favada, 2 outs in the inning. The Americans' final out, looking to end a 10-game losing streak. Ganchow off second. Pitch to Favada. Misses upstairs, gets by Carruthers at home. Ganchow rounding third. He's going to stop there. So he's 90 feet away from tying this game up.
No wild pitches before. Sorry, excuse me. Talking about Oscu. Looking at Holm so far in this year. 2 wild pitches, 2 huge ones. This last 2 at bats, albeit Ganchow stealing one more. He could tie this ball game up, all into Holm's hands.
So Holm in his 7th appearance on the year. The luck has got to run out at some point. The bad luck, I'm saying. Count is 1-0. Favada at the plate. Ganchow now 90 feet away from tying this game up. Count is 1-0. Holm out of the stretch. Deals to Favada. Upstairs. Called a strike at the top of the zone. Now 1-1. Looked like a ball out of the hand, but lands in there.
Favada was the last batter in that loss to Newark yesterday. Really trying not to be the last one again here today.
Count is 1-1. Favada batting from the right side. Ganchow off third. Holm out of the stretch. Deals the 1-1. Favada bounces to the left side. Going to be a tough play. Romero fields, fumbles. Favada beats it out. Tie ball game 2-2 here in the bottom of the 9th.
What is Romero doing? You just got to make an easy play. You play it on one hop. You just fumble it. And Favada, we were talking about it, Tom, one of the fastest players on this team, was absolutely galloping out of the batter's box, able to get in safely. And we've got a tie ball game here.
Aiden Moroz, I'm sure, on his high horse on the bench right now, ready to go out there for the 10th because he's pitched a heck of a ball game. And this inning not over. Here's Michael Sabella. Takes a fastball down the middle for strike 1. So an E5 right there. Mark Holm issues a run, but it's unearned. Favada off of first, 2 outs in the inning. There goes Favada for second. Carruthers, his throw down is in the dirt. Tag dropped by Bates. So Favada steals his 3rd bag of the night. And the Americans, another runner in scoring position.
Vincent Favada has just been unreal. Numerous stolen bases. Not a bad throw from Carruthers. He's really been throwing it a little bit high on the tag and sliding in. That one a bit lower. Not able to be grabbed by Bates. Now a single. Already one so far this year from Sabella. It's 1 for 7. Trying to end this game.
Pitch in there, called strike. So Sabella behind in the count 1-2. Sabella looking to win this game with a base hit. Score is 2-2. Count 1-2. 2 outs in the inning. Favada off second. Holm deals. Low. Now 2-2.
Saw Carruthers quickly come back thinking, trying to get a snap throw back.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. A 2-2 ball game. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Favada off second. Sabella at the plate against Mark Holm, a left-hander for the Oilers. 10-game losing streak for the red, white, and blue trying to be snapped tonight. Pitch, swung and a miss, strike 3. Sabella down on strikes. So Bonos Cantos coming up here in Niagara Falls. We're headed to the top of the 10th. And the fans here at Sal Maglie Stadium going to get more than what they paid for as Aiden Moroz walks back out to the mound. But this game is tied 2-2.
Looking for Sabella to try and put that ball in play. He's really been struggling with the strikeout. Huge spot from Rose. Americans 1-0 in extra inning games. They walked off Elmira 9-8 on the 30th. That was their last win. Their last win was an extra inning game, looking to get their, trying to break that losing streak with an extra inning game. As it brings up Aiden Moroz.
So Moroz back out there for his 10th inning of work. You wonder, did the Oilers send Mark Holm back out for the bottom of the 10th? You have to think so.
No one warming in the pen, Tom.
Yeah, nobody warming in the pen either for the Americans. You have to think they run him back out there with how great he's been on the year and tonight. Only let up a run, and it was unearned on an error at
Yeah, you
third.
can't blame him.
Coming up for the Americans' next inning is Nick Pass, Cooper Rowell, Alex Glasscock. Coming up now for the Oilers, Aiden Willard, Thomas Bates, and Brian Carruthers. Cooper Tarley will be the runner at second base. The quote-unquote Manfred Man is what they call it in the big leagues, with Rob Manfred, the MLB commissioner, kind of being coined for starting extra innings with the runner at second base, creating that rule. So the PGCBL following the same thing, and out trots Cooper Tarley, the right fielder for the Oilers. He's got 15 steals in 20 games, so really good speed at second for the Oilers. Aiden Willard at the plate, the left fielder, batting from the left side for the Oilers. You wonder how they play this. A lot of teams will go the bunt route, get the sacrifice down, but we've already seen tonight Glasscock unable to do so for the Americans. Earlier in this one, you wonder how the Oilers play it.
You get your 4, 5, 6 hitters. Willard came around to score. Carruthers also came around to score. He had those 2 hits, and Bates also has a hit, so 3.
Willard going to square around, misses high, ball 1.
Your 5 and 6 hitters have 3 of the hits in this ball game. Carruthers the reason why they're even on the board with that 2-run inside the Parker. This brings up Willard, who walked and came around to score.
So count is 1-0. Moroz out of the stretch. Pitch outside, misses. Moroz made a nice play on a bunt earlier in this game. Back in the 7th to rob Thomas Bates of a bunt single.
That did move the runner over, though.
Willard at the plate, batting from the left side against Moroz. Squares around, can't get the bunt down first. Fouls it down the third base line, so count is now 2-1.
That was pitch number 100 there. Fouled off by Willard. Just trying to have these bunts go out of play here.
Willard on the year does not have a sacrifice hit, just one sacrifice fly. Batting from the left side here against Moroz. Already squaring around. Pitch. Gets the bunt down the third baseline. It's a good one. Rowell fields. Tough play at first. Fakes the throw. And the Oilers have runners at the corners. A bunt single for Aiden Willard here in the top of the 10th. So that's the first hit surrendered by Aiden Moroz since the 5th.
Second baseman number 20, Thomas Bates.
That'll bring up Thomas Bates, a dangerous hitter for the Oilers. Really good bunt there. Taking off for second is Willard. The Americans bring the infield in. There's strike 1. Count is 0-1. Thomas Bates at the plate. He's 1 for 3 today. Had an infield single, but was caught stealing back in the 4th. Pitch from Moroz. Upstairs misses. Pass fakes the throw, but Willard steals second easily. Going to be called a defensive indifference, most likely. So runners at second and third. Count is 1-1. Nobody out in the inning. Moroz deals. Fastball outside, now 2-1. Olean looking for their first win after losing their last 2. Americans have lost their last 10 in a row, looking to break that losing streak tonight. Count 2-1. Thomas Bates at the plate against Aiden Moroz. Pitch. Fastball chopped up the middle, past the glove of Moroz, fielded by Glasscock. He'll go on to first and get out number 1 as Charlie will have to stay put at third. A big out recorded by the Americans' defense. So Tarley holding on contact, waiting until that ball gets through the infield. A nice job by Glasscock on the backhand to throw out Bates at first. It'll bring up Brian Carruthers with 1 out now in the inning. Still runners at second and third. Rose out of the stretch, deals to Carruthers. Fastball misses at the bottom of the zone, below it for ball 1. Carruthers responsible for both runs for Olean tonight. Rose deals the 1-0. Carruthers takes it, strike 1 inside corner. Carruthers 2 for 3 and inside the Parker back in the second that scored 2 runs. The only runs in the ballgame for the Oilers. Also a hit in the 5th. He's given Rose fits tonight. Count 1-1. Pitch to Carruthers. Fastball chopped to the left side. A high hopper. That'll get a run in. Rowell across the diamond. Sabella tag. Safe. Looked like Sabella got the tag on, but not really a good angle for the field umpire to see it. And Carruthers reaches on the play.
That would have been a huge out. Still have the double play ball potentially in play, but Sabella adamant he got that tag.
Olean going to call time again and have another conversation down the third base line. That'll bring up Denny Martin. So Olean leads 3-2 now, runners at the corners. Count 0-1 to Denny Martin. Aiden Rose looking to get a ground ball. That one outside, just missing off the corner, now 1-1. Probably about a half a ball off the plate right there.
Rose at 100 pitches, looking for double play ball here. Just make it a 1-run game.
Pitch. That one's cracked into left center. Coming over is Ganschow. He makes the play. Leaping grab. Fires it in, but a run will score on the sacrifice fly by Denny Martin. Olean now leads 4-2.
That play huge. You got that out. It would only be a 1-run game, but the runner able to come in to score on a deep foul ball on the left. Brings up Romero.
Romero at the plate with 2 outs and a runner at first in Brian Carruthers, who's got 3 hits tonight, really giving Rose trouble as he deals ball number 1 to Romero. 2-run ball game, not over yet. Americans still off the bat in the bottom of the 10th. Pitch from Rose, lined into left field. That'll fall for a base hit. Carruthers going to round second, but stop there. Ganschow fires it in, picked by Glasscock at second. So Olean now runners at first and second with 2 outs. So Rose has allowed 3 hits in the inning after not allowing a hit since the 5th. As Mike Threehouse going to walk out, talk things over with the home plate umpire. Possible pinch runner at second, it looks like, coming out of the dugout for Olean as Brian Carruthers on second. Not a ton of speed. Looks like they will call on a pinch hitter, or pinch runner, excuse me, and Connor Rook alone for Carruthers out there at second. So somebody will have to come in and catch for the Oilers next inning off the bench. As Vercalone, an outfielder, he probably will not be doing so. At the plate, Grant Fournier takes up and in for ball 1 from Rose. Two outs in the inning. We're in the top of the 10th. 2 runs already in for the Oilers. They lead 4-2 over the Americans. Pitch from Rose, a fastball just low, now 2-0. That one just missing. Below the zone, very close. Rose out of the stretch, checks on Verkalone. Pitch, inside corner, gets the call that time. Now 2-1.
Just looking for this big out here and get an out at any base.
Lefty Fournier at the plate. Singled back in the third, otherwise 2 outs made. Inside, misses. Now 3-1. Rose behind in the count. He's in his 10th inning of work here for the Americans, who are down 4-2 against the Oilers. Rose checks on Verkalone, deals, fastball, chopped to the right side. Sabella fields, a race to first, taps first with his glove and gets the out. Michael Sabella, a nice play going full Superman, beating Fournier to the bag, and the Americans coming to bat here in the bottom of the 10th, looking to start a rally to force a walk-off, as Moreau's still yelling at the Olean dugout. Still getting chippy here tonight in this one. As we head to the bottom of the 10th, the Americans coming to bat, looking to walk this one off or possibly tie here against the Olean Oilers at Sal Maglie Stadium.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family-owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the one-half tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Maglie Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Maglie Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter.
So Nick Pass steps into the box. The Americans trail the Oilers 4-2. We're now in the bottom of the 10th. Adam Weiss on a pinch run for the Americans as Michael Sabella has been taken out of the ball game. Danny Martin was in at first. Now he'll back up. Holm steps off, chases Weiss back to second.
Interesting choice to use Adam Weiss in that walk-off against the Pioneers. They opted to use Anthony Savino, but opted to go with the first baseman here.
Kind of an easy swap, Weiss for Sabella. They both play first. First pitch to Pass is upstairs, 1-0. Holm really had some trouble with command tonight. 2 wild pitches in that last inning allowed the Americans to tie the ball game up.
Ganchov also walked to get on.
So Pass at the plate. 0 for 3 today. Pitch from Holm. Hit behind Holm for strike number 1. So this is the final inning no matter what. We're in the bottom of the 10th. Americans trail the Oilers 4-2. Nick Pass at the plate. Currently 0 for his last 29. Count is 1-1. Weiss at second. Nobody holding him on. Pitch inside. Misses. Now 2-1. Pass ahead. Good hitter's count for a power hitting catcher. Weiss's run at second does not really matter too much. It's all about this run at the plate in Nick Pass. Oilers are looking to get outs before the Americans score 2 runs. Count is 2-1. Pitch to pass. Drills that one down the left field line. Willard can't see it in left. A long run for McElligott, and he won't get there. So Nick Pass catches a break as Aiden Willard loses the ball in the lights. He probably would have had that all day in left field.
Yeah, it would have been a long, long run, but certainly has the legs to do so. Certainly lucky here if you're Pass trying to make up for it here and try and get that single and break this long hitless streak.
Nick Pass at the plate. Count is 2-2. Nobody out in the inning. Adam Weiss off second. Scores 4-2. Olean over Niagara Falls. Holm out of the stretch. Steals to Pass. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Pass is down on strikes for the 3rd time today. And Holm blows it by him for out number 1.
We'll bring up Cooper Rowell, who's been humongous. 2 for 3 has just been unreal these last couple of days. Had 4 RBIs versus Newark yesterday. Looking for an RBI today. Let's really think about that play where Sabello thought he tagged him out, and that was a huge extra run, and that would make the Weiss run matter a lot.
So now 1 out in the inning. Cooper Rowell 2 for 3 today. Weiss off second. Pitch to Rowell. Popped up foul behind the Oilers dugout for strike number 1.
Really got to the heart of the lineup for the Oilers. Their 4, 5, 6 hitters compared to the Americans. Their end of the lineup certainly helped out the Oilers more, getting to their guys who have really just been not struggling hitting.
Glasscock on deck for the Americans. Then the top of the lineup back up after that. So if you're an Americans fan, you're hoping to recycle the lineup. Counts 0-1. Pitch to Rowell upstairs. Now 1-1.
Try and get up to Harris, Gladfelter, and Zangardi. The reason why you're still in this game.
Rowell been very good, though, nonetheless. 2 for 3 tonight, 2 singles, looking to continue that success. A base hit scores Weiss, makes it a 4-3 game. Then you're one step closer to tying this thing up or even winning it. We're in the bottom of the 10th. 4-2 is your score. Olean over Niagara Falls. 0-1 count. 1-1, excuse me, to Adam Weiss. Pitch. Outside, gets the call. Now 1-2, excuse me. Rowell 4 RBIs yesterday, none today, but 2 hits. Riding a 4-game on-base streak. Count 1-2. Holm deals to Rowell. Pops it up on the right side of the infield. Martin back. He sees it. Now coming forward. Almost let it fell in front of him, but makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. The Americans down to their final out here against the Olean Oilers.
I thought he was going to misplay and have the ball fall into fair territory, but 2 quick outs. That's what I'm talking about. It's your 8 and 9 hitters. Tough to have come up when you need a couple runs. So it brings up Glasscock, who does have a hit, but you also had that huge pop out on that bunt attempt earlier in this game.
I'll bring up Alex Glasscock, like you mentioned. From Middlebury College in Vermont, a Monterey, California native. At the plate with 2 outs in the inning. Mark Holm out of the stretch. Adam Weiss off second. Deals to Glasscock, who swings at the first pitch. And misses. Glasscock loves that first pitch hack. I've seen it a lot out of him. Count is 0-1. Holm ahead of Glasscock. Weiss off second. Holm out of the stretch. Deals. In the dirt. Gets by the new catcher in Smith. Evens up the count at 1. Weiss gets the 3rd.
Just love Glasscock to get up and bring up Harris, Gladfelter, and Zangardi, who have 5 hits between them. Somehow Glasscock can reach.
So Brady Smith now behind the plate for the Oilers. As Connor Verkalone came in and pinch ran for Carruthers last half an inning. Count is 1-1. Glasscock at the plate. Holm deals. A curveball in there called strike, now 1-2. Glasscock didn't like the call. Caught the bottom of the zone.
Really been going to that spot all this whole game. Glasscock kind of know he's been getting this call and certainly going to have to be weary of it again. So I'm looking for this save.
So the Americans down to their final strike. 1-2 count. Holm deals against Glasscock. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And Mark Holm waves goodbye to the Americans as Niagara Falls falls for the 11th time in a row at Sal Maglie Stadium against the Olean Oilers, who now leads the season series 3-0 against the Americans. 4-2 is your final score after 10 innings. What a win for the Oilers.
The game, the Americans feel like they were coming from behind, and they were, just those 2 runs. But so in this game, Americans 1 for 12 with 2 outs, 3 for 25 with runners on, a putrid .12 batting average, 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position, but into 3 for 12. The Oilers 250, just only one time when runners are in scoring position able to get the runners around. That's just unacceptable. Both teams 4 for 9 leading off. Every time Americans would get to have a runner on with less than 2 outs. Every time it was with 1 out, so the Americans just couldn't get runners over. And it's just a tough game for the Americans. And you get wasting Aiden Moreau's great start.
Yeah, Moreau's came out and threw 10 innings. As we look at that final line for Moreau's, I mentioned that might not be his final line when you read it in the 9th. Now his final line in the 10th reads like this.
Yeah, 10 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 runs, only 3 earned, a walk, 5 strikeouts. Just a tough game for him. You could sort of see his control dipping a little bit in that 10th inning, but that he knew he was going to have to come in, and just a tough spot against the middle of the lineup against this Oilers team, and they really needed this win.
Yeah, Olean had lost their last 2 coming into tonight. Just kind of shocked, speechless. The Americans came back, tied it in the 9th on a Vincent Favada E5. It'll reach Matt Ganschow coming on to score after he walked, but the Americans unable to end the 10-game losing streak as it now pushes to 11, and they'll travel on the road to Elmira tomorrow to face off against the Pioneers in a 7-inning twin bill, who Elmira has been playing great as of late. Will be a tough set of games for the Americans.
Yeah, they were able to they were able to get their last win against Elmira in a doubleheader, trying to at least get 1 or 2 tomorrow, this time at Dunn Field. Both Elmira, also another team really in that playoff hunt, so those will be a huge game tomorrow. Certainly the farthest drive for the Americans, 3 hours away, trying to end this losing streak, and it will go another day.
So Hudson Iaquesa will get credit for the win. Mark Holm comes on and holds on for the save, and Aiden Moreau will get the loss, his 2nd of the year. He's now 2-2 on the year. Olean leads the season series against the Americans 3-0. Iaquesa, just his 2nd appearance of the summer, now moves to 2-0. And Holm earns his 2nd save of the year. Olean wins this one 4-2. We look at the final box score. Olean scores 4 runs on 8 hits. They had 1 error in the ballgame and left 6 men on base. The Americans scored 2 runs on 10 hits, so out-hitting Olean. 1 error and 8 runners left on base. The Americans just could not score with guys in runners in scoring position. But not over. They'll take on the Elmira Pioneers tomorrow at Dunn Field. 2:05 start will be live here on the American Sports Network at 1:55. I'm Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan. We say thank you so much for spending part of your Saturday night 7-Eleven with us here on the American Sports Network. Again, we apologize for all the technical